Thanks, Savannah. Okay, hey everybody. My name is Jessie Jennings, and I'm a content creator here at Plaid. And we have Emma Panuski in the studio, who is also a content creator, and we're really excited. Emma's going to be teaching us how to make this really cute stenciled tote that's going to be a planter. So it's super fun. She's going to show us using our brand new line of stencils and paints, which is called Sign Shop, which is available at Michael's. We've done lots of classes with it, so you may have seen us use it before. And she's also going to be showing a really cool technique, showing you how to stiffen fabric using Mod Podge Ultra, which is our Mod Podge spray. So it's water resistant. So once you do it, you'll be able to put plants in there. You can even plant with soil in there. So a lot of cool things that Emma's going to show us today. Like Jimena said, if you decide to make any of these crafts today, we'd love to see them. So please hashtag Plaid Crafts. Check us out on Instagram, check us out on Facebook, check us out on TikTok. We'd love to have you. We are always trying to come up with inspiration and make new ideas for you guys. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Emma.
All right, thanks, Jessie. So like Jessie said, welcome to our class today and happy Friday. We're going to be making these super cute stiffened tote bags, and I'm going to run down how to stiffen your fabric, how to stencil onto these adorable tote bags that of course are available at Michael's, and just some tips and tricks along the way. I love these tote bags. They're so great for, like Jessie said, making them into planters. You can put like blankets in them. You can get a tiny baby one like this and stick it in your kitchen and put some utensils in it. The opportunities are just endless. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'll just run through all of the supplies that you'll need to follow along with me today. So of course, you're going to need your Sign Shop stencils. So these are available at Michael's. They are brand new. They came out about a month ago, and we are obsessed with them. And of course, there I say that they are available at Michael's, and they come in dozens and dozens of different patterns and designs. They come in 2 different sizes. So we have this smaller size, and then we have a larger size. And the great thing about it is they have these chosen and curated phrases, just like this, with a bunch of different patterns, but they also have alphabets, so you can really customize it to fit your needs. So Sign Shop stencils. Next, you'll need a canvas tote. So here are 2 options. We have this cream off-white color one here, and then this white one here. So these are 2 options you can buy. They come in a 1-pack, they come in a 3-pack. These are 2 great options. Next, we have our Mod Podge Ultra. So this is what's going to act as our stiffener for our tote bags today. And if you've never heard of Mod Podge Ultra before, just like in the name, of course, it belongs in the Mod Podge family. But the great thing about Mod Podge Ultra is obviously there's a lot of techniques you can do with Mod Podge Ultra, like stiffening, and I can't even think of all of the ones you can do right now, but it's water resistant. There's no brush strokes. It is not a brush on application. It actually has a spray applicator tool. There's a million different things that's so great about Mod Podge Ultra. Indoor, outdoor, multi-surface, it's amazing. And we listed in the supply list, I'm pretty sure we said to get Mod Podge Ultra Matte because it comes in 2 different formulas, matte and gloss. But I'm using the gloss today just to show you guys that you can use either or. So either finish of Mod Podge Ultra will work great. Next, we called for you to use blue Peacock multi-surface FolkArt acrylic paint. We like to use multi-surface paint, especially FolkArt, of course, whenever we're painting onto fabric, because it is machine washable, and we found that that's the best option to use for fabric. Next, you're going to need FolkArt Sky Mist. So of course, those are the 2 colors that we use to stencil our bags here. And I want to apologize, we didn't list any brush tools in our supply list today, but all you need is a flat brush. A stencil brush is optional, but honestly, you could do this whole thing today with just a flat brush. But I have a stencil brush because that's just my preferred way of stenciling. And of course, some scissors. There's a lot of things, you guys, but I hope that you're all keeping up and not getting overwhelmed. Next, we're going to need some stencil tape. You can use stencil tape, masking tape, painter's tape. And that's really just to achieve this super straight line here, okay? So it's optional. And next, we're going to need some wax paper. This is an important tool to have when we are stiffening our bag, so keep that in mind. And then lastly, we're going to need some poster board. And I just like to have this disposable baking tray just to keep my workspace clean when I'm using the Mod Podge Ultra, because when we spray our tote bag, we don't want the Mod Podge Ultra to land on our table. And I should have mentioned this too, Mod Podge Ultra is also a fantastic sealer. So it totally would seal our table, but it would be a little bit splotchy. So we're not going to do that today.
It's also a really great adhesive, like Emma said. It is a very permanent adhesive, so we don't want to glue our bag to the table either.
Yeah,
because that would definitely happen.
Yes. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead and start by stenciling our tote bag and show off some of these awesome sign shop stencils. So it is an adhesive stencil, so you're going to remove it from the backing. And the great thing about our sign shop stencils is that they are reusable. And we have reused them dozens and dozens of times, and you always get that really same crisp, clean pattern underneath. Okay, so one important tip, you just want to make sure that your stencil is totally flush to your surface.
And also, like Emma said, it's reusable. They're super durable. So like Emma said, you can use them many times. The adhesive will reactivate. So once you clean them off, which Emma can talk about as she's stenciling, but once you clean them off, when it dries, it'll get sticky again. So you want to make sure you hang on to that backing. So I'm always like, it's kind of like my instinct, like, oh, extra, I'm going to throw it away. But make sure you hang on to those backings of your stencils so you can put it back on there and then put it back in your craft supplies when you're done.
Yes. So this step is optional. You do not have to do this step because these stencils are adhesive, but because we are stenciling onto a surface that is more textured, this canvas does just have some texture in it naturally. I like to use some stencil tape to adhere my stencil down just to make sure that it's really flush and on there. But if I were using like a wood surface or a tin surface, any really smooth flat surface, I would not even think to use stencil tape. Okay, so next, I'm going to use the backing as my palette. We're going to take our blue Peacock.
I love that color.
I do too. It's like a really beautiful, rich jewel tone blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like to have some paper towels when I'm stenciling, because a big part of stenciling, if you've never stenciled before, is offloading. That's something that I like to do in my stenciling process. But I will say the great thing about these FolkArt Sign Shop stencils is that if you've ever struggled with stenciling in the past, Sign Shop will really change the game for you. It is a mesh stencil and it's similar to a silk screen. So that means that it's much more forgiving. You don't get bleeding. You get that really crisp, clean design no matter what you do. So I'm going to take this stencil brush. This is just a 1/2 inch stencil brush, and I'm going to dip it in some of my paint and then offload it a little bit. And if you don't know what offloading means, it means I'm just wiping off some of that excess paint onto whatever surface. So on that case, it's my palette, and then I'm going to offload it again onto my paper towel. And a really great tip for stenciling is I don't like to have a lot of paint on my stencil brush. We don't want an excess amount of paint on our stencil brush. That's going to want to come off of the brush and sneak under our stencil and create bleeding and leave us with an uneven pattern. So there's 2 types of stencilers in the world. There's swirlers and there's dabbers. Usually I like to swirl on an adhesive stencils like this one, or any kind of silk screens like this one, because it is much more forgiving. And swirling, sometimes you have a little bit more bleeding, but because this is a silk screen, or sorry, a mesh stencil, I don't need to worry about it. But if this were like a paper mailbox stencil, I would probably dab instead. But let's go ahead and start swirling.
Let us know, guys. If you guys are stencilers, let us know in the chat whether you're a dabber or a swirler. I'm kind of curious now, because we kind of split here at Plaid. Half of us like dabbing and half of us like swirling.
And I'm just going to apply more paint to my brush whenever I need to. And one thing just to keep in mind, it's not going to be stressful or anything, but you do just want to be mindful about how quickly you work with the stencil, because you don't want the paint drying in the mesh, you want to, as soon as you're done using your stencil, you want to go ahead and run it under water or put it in a basin of water, just so that the paint stays animated and wet and you don't get a, dry paint drying in your stencil is what I'm trying to say.
So we've got some answers. Kristen said they're a dabber, so me too. Erin said, I usually dab so I don't splay the bristles under the edges, then swirl to get a smoother finish. That's a really good idea, actually. I love that. And Elaine said, once I get this type, I will be a swirler. So I'm glad you're gonna go and get through some of these stencils. They're really awesome. Like Emma said, they come in like dozens of designs. There's patterns and there's sayings and there's just all kinds of like little motifs to add to signs. And like Emma said, there's alphabet packs so you can make your own signs. The possibilities are endless. We've got these really cute like farm to table, produce sort of sayings, and then we've got ones about love, we've got family, we've got rainbows, like just like everything you could imagine we've got on there. So make sure you guys check those out, and those are available in stores and on michaels.com.
Yes. Okay, time for the big reveal, you guys.
Ooh,
ta-da!
That looks awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so we get this really rustic looking design, which I love. Isn't that so cute?
And I love that there's no bridges. That's like one of like game changers for me about these mesh stencils is that there's no bridges. So it doesn't look like a stencil. It looks like it was printed, like it was silk screen, because, of course, when you're using paper stencils or Mylar, you have to have those bridges to hold your design together. But with these, there's no bridges at all. It's just all, you see that O, there would normally have to be lines to hold that center piece in, but not with these. They're awesome.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just gonna go set this in the sink really quick because I don't have a water basin with me, but I don't want this stencil to dry. So I'm gonna set this in the sink.
I love that idea.
Okay, you guys, so we're kind of doing this in like a deconstructed bag class. So we're doing our stencil, we're doing it totally out of order. We're doing our stencil first. And now I'm going to show you just how I would block off a tote bag.
Yeah, so in the project photo, what Emma's talking about, we had the one where it had like the big block of blue that was stenciled over, and the smaller one that just had the stencil right on the canvas. So Emma showed you how to do it on the canvas, and now she's going to show you if you had wanted to start with that big area of color, how you could apply that before you start stenciling, if you wanted to have kind of a variety like we had in that project photo.
Yeah. And when you are picking out your supplies for your project at home, like we said in the beginning, we prefer to use FolkArt multi-surface paint for canvas and fabric projects. Not like a stretched canvas, but any type of canvas fabric material. We like to use FolkArt multi-surface because it is machine washable, it's really durable, it lasts a long time. So just keep that in mind. And we have a lot of variety. We have a huge variety of different colors to choose from at Michaels in the FolkArt multi-surface line. So, okay, so we're going to bring back our friend stencil tape, and we are going to go ahead and tape off our bag. So usually the great thing about these tote bags is that there's a cross in the middle, which kind of gives you some direction on where you want to tape it. We want it to be even.
And Erin had a really cute idea. They said, how cute would these be for Halloween bags? You could even personalize them for a trunk or treat.
Oh my gosh, so adorable. To stick
a great idea.
Here, that's a great idea. I love that idea. Okay, now we're going to take our sky mist.
I love that color too.
I do too, yeah. And you're just going to go ahead and base coat the inside of your bag. Whenever I'm painting on canvas fabric like this, I just like to move in all different directions just to make sure that I get the paint in all of the fibers, because sometimes the canvas is a little textured and you just want to make sure that it gets all over the spots where you want it to end up.
Yeah. Hey, could we switch to the front view real quick? And could you pull the final bag in, Emma? We've got, Kim would like to see the final project again.
Sure.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So it's like a stiffened canvas bag that you can use as a planter for inside out or outside.
Yeah. And you can really put whatever you want in there.
Mm-hmm. It'd be, you know, it'd be so cute, like in a playroom with like toys in it. Wouldn't that be so cute? Like toy storage.
Really cute. This would make a super cute teacher gift.
Oh yeah.
Some goodies inside, and then it's a really cute thing to have in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Storage.
Really cute. Elaine is asking, does it say multi-surface on the front of the bottle? Will you show us the blue Peacock bottle again, Em?
Yeah, it does say multi-surface on the front of the bottle.
Yeah, and how you can tell with FolkArt, the regular FolkArt acrylic paints have gold tops, and then the multi-surface paints have the black top. So that's helpful too if you're looking in store. Emma's using Sky Mist just because she had it on hand, but we do recommend using multi-surface for this project.
Yes. And another thing too, if you can't find the color you want in FolkArt multi-surface, we would then recommend using FolkArt acrylic, which is what I'm using right now, mixed with some FolkArt texture medium, or did I say that right? Textile medium.
Textile medium, yeah. Great idea.
Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and base coat this whole thing because that would be super boring.
But you get the idea.
Yeah, so you would just paint inside of here just to give your project some color. And then you would either wait for it to dry or you can blow dry it. And then you would lay your stencil on top like we just showed you. And now I guess we'll move on to stiffening our bag.
Awesome.
Okay, you guys. So to stiffen our bag, first I'm going to clear some room. Oops. Is that okay? Sorry,
good, yeah.
I guys in the face.
All good.
Okay.
Lissa is asking, would you need to put a wax paper between the layers of the fabric to not have it bleed through to the other side?
You totally could. You could put some wax paper, you could put some poster board. Mine didn't, and I didn't add anything to it. See, it's fine on the other side.
Yeah, the canvas is pretty thick. If you're using a thinner fabric, probably, but that canvas is pretty thick, so we didn't need to today.
Okay, and here I pulled these to show you guys. We also have stencil paste in our Sign Shop line. So they come in this big essentials pack, and this was really formulated to work really, really well with our Sign Shop stencils. So this is great for like your wood and tin. It's multi-surface, so it's great for all of your different sign making projects. And we have it in this essentials pack. So every single color of the rainbow, your whole Roy G. Biv here, and they're really mixable too. So if you can't find the color you want, you can mix one of these rainbow colors. And then we also have these more curated packs that are, we've picked out your color palette for you. So all you have to do is grab your surface, grab your stencil, and grab your acrylic stencil paste, and you can go home and make a beautiful finished project that looks professionally done. Because it is seriously, you guys, so simple and so easy, and anybody can do it. And we've helped you by picking a color palette and just making it really easy to do at home.
I love that. They're kind of like themed.
Yeah, this is a classic blues pack, and this is lush greens, and they're both gorgeous color palettes. I mean, look at these.
They're so pretty.
Yeah, and these are not all of the ones we have. These are just the ones I pulled to show you guys, but we have like a holiday pack with gold and red and green, and we have a really beautiful, like more pastel-y pack. There's a lot of great packs and a lot of great stencils, so definitely check it out. Yeah. Okay, so what you're gonna need to stiffen your bag is wax paper. Something like disposable that you don't mind getting dirty, a flat surface. Your Mod Podge Ultra, either formula, matte or gloss. poster board. This is just a scrap piece of poster board that we had lying around from a different project from, you can see, catching some other paint.
Apparently a splatter project.
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful treasure gold project that we worked on. So we save all our scraps, you guys.
Yeah, we try to be green here at Plaid.
Of course, your tote bag. And I mentioned, and then some Scotch tape, because you already have this stencil tape that we used beforehand, but this stencil tape or painter's tape or masking tape doesn't stick to wax paper, but Scotch tape does. So Scotch tape. Okay, everybody. So let's go ahead and start by breaking out our tote bag.
And so when you're doing this part, guys, the reason Emma's not using the one she stenciled is because it's really important that you let it dry fully before you start trying to spray Mod Podge Ultra on it, because it may bleed your paint. You may make your paint bleed. So Emma's kind of just skipping around here, but just so you know, I would definitely wait an hour or two to let your paint fully dry after you've stenciled it before you try to start stiffening it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And also, I would probably recommend painting on your tote bag before you stiffen it, just because it's going to be a lot easier to paint and stencil on if you can lay it flat.
Yeah, totally.
And probably this is just a good note to make for any projects that you would make with a canvas bag. It's just good to wash and dry it and then probably iron it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's anytime you're doing any sort of fabric or fashion projects.
Yeah.
Great tip, Em.
Sometimes there's sizing in fabric, especially like crafting fabric like this. And sizing is just a material that keeps it looking nice in the packaging. So you just want to wash that out. It's raining here. I thought somebody was knocking on the door, but it's just rain.
Oh my gosh, really?
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to kind of curl up our up our poster board. And right now I just want to get the size right, okay? And this is going to kind of act as our mold. Make sure it doesn't get caught on the handles like it's doing right now for me. Okay. That's a good size. So now what we're going to do, we are going to grab our Scotch tape. Curl it up.
And as you guys saw too, if the Scotch tape doesn't hold, that's really just to help you like inserting it into your tote bag. If it pops open in the tote bag, that's okay, because the tote bag keeps it in that round shape, if that makes sense. You know, it can't fully open because it's tucked, it's already tucked inside the bag.
Right.
So don't worry about that.
Okay, so maybe it keeps wanting to fall apart, but that's okay. Just like Jessica said, we'll let it fall apart and we'll get our wax paper. And the reason we need wax paper for this is because the Mod Podge Ultra is going to want to stick to that poster board, and we don't want to adhere our poster board to our tote bag. So Mod Podge Ultra doesn't stick to wax paper. We found most things don't stick to wax paper. It's like the crafter's best friend. And so many things don't stick to wax paper that we need a special kind of tape, because that will stick to wax.
Right, exactly. Not even tape will.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, even Scotch tape can be finicky when you're trying to like adhere wax paper together.
Yeah.
But it's definitely better than stencil tape.
Yeah, and if you can't get it and you don't have Scotch tape, you really just want to make sure that most of your poster board is covered by wax paper so that it's not touching your tote bag. But if there's little spots, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emma's just wrapping the wax paper around her scrap of poster board.
Yes.
And Elizabeth said freezer paper works too. So that's good to know.
Great. Okay. So now that there is a nice layer of wax paper covering our poster board, we can go ahead and stick it in our tote bag. So a good tip, you can roll it as tightly as you want just to fit it in there because like Jessie said, once you get it in your tote bag, it's going to unbundle a little bit and fill the space of your tote bag.
Which is really what you want to happen.
Yes. So I'm going to take my handles out just to make sliding this in a little bit easier. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of manipulate the bottom parts. You see how it's kind of tapered like this? Okay. See how this guy is? We got a really flat bottom because we made sure that this was folded nicely so in a way that it would lay flat. So we want to do the same thing here, and I'll flip it upside down so all my friends can see. We're going to just kind of fold it like this, manipulate it so that this bottom is flat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. You just want to make sure so it'll sit flat later on when it's nice and hard.
Yeah. Make sure we have that nice flat bottom. Okay, and so if you can kind of see from the front, you see that our poster board really molds into the shape of our tote bag so that we get this really nice cylindrical shape. We want to make sure we have that flat bottom. And now we are ready to stick it onto our disposable baking tray, but really you could use poster board, you could use whatever you want. And now we're going to grab our Mod Podge Ultra and we are going to spray it down, you guys. We are going to make sure that it's totally saturated with our Ultra because wherever there's Ultra, it's going to be stiffened. So we want to make sure that all of the spaces are saturated. So just go crazy and start spraying down all of your canvas.
This is the fun part.
Yes. And keep spinning and spraying, you guys.
It's so easy to do. In case you guys haven't used Mod Podge Ultra yet, I know we've been talking about it, but it works great. It works in all of the ways that, you know, our traditional Mod Podge works as far as decoupage and things like that. But it also works great for adhering 3D objects. So we do like really great like 3D, you know, mixed media collages. You can put like seashells on paintings and things like that. Emma actually just taught this past week's Monday night paint night that we do every Monday night with Michaels, every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. She did a really beautiful painting called Sunset Bay, where she painted a nice, you know, sunset over the ocean. And then at the end, she used Mod Podge Ultra to adhere some seashells and sand to it. And it sticks on like concrete, like it sticks so well. And then as you can see here, she's using stiffened fabric. So there are just so many amazing, amazing uses for this Mod Podge Ultra.
Yes. And look how quick and easy that was too, you guys. So what I would do now, we sprayed it all down. It is totally, you just want to give it a quick feel and just make sure that it really is nice and damp. And then once it is, you just want to let that sit overnight and then you can come back to it. Remove your wax paper and poster board from your tote bag, stick the little handles inside, and then you have this beautiful stiffened bag that you can put all your keepsakes in. You can stick a plant in it, put a plastic bag in and actually put some soil in it and grow a plant in it. And just a really unique way to brighten up your space and add some creativity to some of your storage.
I love it. Emma, we have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Elizabeth said, how many bags will the Mod Podge cover? So can you do a lot, I guess, with just one bottle?
Yes, so we have an 8 ounce and a 4 ounce. And I would say a little bit goes a long way with this, you guys. I mean, I've already used this Mod Podge Ultra for several projects. I don't know if you can see how much is in there. And I sprayed that whole, I've used this for like, 4 other projects. And I just sprayed that whole bag and look how much is still left.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It goes a long.
Yeah, it definitely goes a long way. And then Carrie said, do you need to worry about ventilation?
No, that's a great question. You don't need to worry about ventilation for Mod Podge Ultra. It is a spray, but it has a spray nozzle. It is not an aerosol, so it's non-toxic. You don't need to worry about ventilation. You can work in a tight room with all the windows closed. And
it's water-based, so it's totally safe.
Yeah, great questions, you guys. Any other questions before
I think that's it, Em.
Okay, so you guys, that was our class today. I hope you all learned a ton. I hope I made you excited about FolkArt Sign Shop and Mod Podge Ultra today. I hope, like I said, I hope you all learned something. We want to give a big thank you to Michaels for allowing us to do this class with you all today. We love speaking with you all and learning tips from you all and sharing what we know with all of you. So thank you guys for being here with us today. Happy Friday, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.